Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our God Talk that is now on Wednesday, I guess. And today we have a special guest today, Rhonda, which I was really excited to meet. And she is actually going to give us kind of a testimony, correct?
A piece of it.
A piece of testimony. Yeah, we've all got quite a bit in life. So we've got Kelly here, Misty, and Rhonda. Jerry isn't able to join us today because of work, but God bless her. She'll be back hopefully next week. And
So this is my friend Rhonda that I've been going to church with for how many years ago?
A decade.
Yeah, at least.
Since you were a baby.
Yeah, well, I'm not anymore. And she has, like we said, a few testimonies, and she just came to my mind when we were thinking about people to talk to because she has such an amazing heart, and I wanted to share that with my friends on the podcast. So she has a story to tell us.
I do. Well, there's a God story. In 2009, so a decade ago, maybe 2010, I could be lying. It could be hard sometimes when you're first kind of embracing your Christianity to really kind of just make it clear. And so it was my husband and my mother's birthday. They share the same birthday. I bought them both Bibles, and I put some letters on them. I blinged them for them to personalize them. My husband's Bible was just your basic brown, old person, large print Bible.
Did you bling it?
I blinged it.
Did you bling his different than you blinged hers?
Yes,
okay.
Because he is different than her.
Yes.
And on his, I put "In Faith Always" in these gold letters. The same thing that I blinged his guitar out with pink letters in Faith Always. So it's something, it meant something to us, and this was his Bible. And he used it. And I liked that he used it. Then he died. And he died suddenly, and we planned a funeral very quickly. And a couple of things I knew in planning his funeral, in a real quick conversation with God about, I knew that I wanted his urn to be something different than an urn, and I knew that I didn't want one of these Hallmark sign-in books. And for some reason, God put it on my heart to use his Bible.
For the
people
funeral?
to sign at the funeral. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
what a good idea.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of faces in the family when I said that kind of looked at me like, oh. But it always felt right. And I told my brother Chad, who really was a humongous help during all of that, and our son Michael. I would just kind of speak things and they would make it happen. So somehow Michael's Bible, my husband's Bible, was there when you'd come in to sign in, and it's just filled with gold Sharpie thoughts and feelings, different scripture signed, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. And so then I started carrying it with me. And we would go to church on Saturday night. At that time was our church service. And I would sit it in the chair next to me. My husband was a greeter, so he always entered service with me a little after. And so I always left the chair for him. So now this chair and this Bible brought me comfort. And I've learned maybe a little late in this grief process to stop apologizing for the way I grieve because it's mine.
Yeah.
But this was comfort. I could have chosen other comforts. I know where the bar is.
Right.
This is much better.
Yeah, so this was, Saturday night, I'm a little flaky. I got a lot going on, and I set the Bible up on top of my Trailblazer, my cocktail, my iced tea up there, and I'm strapping a child into the car seat and just go around and get in the car, back out, get on to Moonlight, and begin to travel to Culver's at 151st Street with what I know now is my husband's Bible and my cocktail up on top of so what happens is we have a meal like we usually did. Now I'm home on Saturday night, and at this point, it's only a year and a half or so into it, and so it's still a weird Saturday night, weirdness. But I had now a ritual on Saturday nights. I'd take his Bible out of my purse, my bag, and I'd put it on top of his box, right? His very cool wooden, that's where his ashes are box. And there was no Bible. So because I'm protected by the Lord's gift of flakiness, I flaked myself into thinking, oh, I've just left it at church. It's there. No problem. Sunday morning, I get up to go to a Bible study, a women's Bible study, which was very strange for me to be doing anyway. It was something I'd avoided for years, but kind of had been led to read through the Bible with them. So I was in the church a few minutes before I went to this Bible study, long enough to know it's not where I'd hoped it was.
Oh my God.
So there's a little anxiety going. And now I'm in a room with 12 very sweet, very God-loving women, and they're softly praying because I've shared, I can't find Mike's Bible, and they're kind of like, she's a ditz, it's somewhere, but we'll pray. So, and this calm, sweet praying, instead of just kind of accepting it, and this is nothing against the ladies or the prayer, my voice became louder, and I spoke out in this prayer, oh Lord, I'm going to need a neon sign on this. And it was the beginning of an anxiety building inside of me. Like I had a clear conversation with him that, oh, I'm not kidding. I need that Bible back. Mm-hmm. So now it's Sunday evening, no Bible. Monday, I think Sunday evening or maybe Monday morning, I'd gotten past my pride to put it on Facebook that I've lost his Bible. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I think it was February 20th, and the kids didn't have school, and so I didn't have them for that day for some reason. I went to my friend's house to watch General Hospital, and I could not. I cried the whole day. And then as I was driving home, unlike me, because most of my prayers, the truth is, most of my prayers are just me and him, telepathic. I don't stop and when I don't feel like I need to, when I feel like it's because we're already talking, why send them a text or whatever is how it feels. And then they're groups or girls together or me with children or whatever, but they're maybe a little more will-filled, where I'm trying to make sure that whatever prayer I go into, I'm making sure he understands your will, whatever you want to do. Oh, you want to take my husband? Okay, your will, you want to separate me from my daughter and my grandchildren? Okay, your will. But as I was coming over those tracks on that Monday, snowy, cold, depressing kind of day, I had driven up and down. I had been everywhere that I thought I could be where that Bible might be.
So you had actually been looking for it too.
Oh, yeah. But was very... And there was just this sense of coming up over the railroad tracks, and out of my mouth I said, oh Lord, no, I need that Bible back. I need that Bible back. It doesn't, and this was, I remember I said, it doesn't belong to me. It's not mine to give. It's for the children. The children are going to need that Bible. Those babies are going to need to be able to look through. And
you mean like his grandkids?
Yes, his grandchildren, our children, and it became a little less will and a little more openly, nope, this is what I need. I'm telling you right now, you got me over this, but this right now, and for it to be for the Bible, I'm looking back now, for it to be for the Bible was kind of unlike me. I mean, why not ask him to give me my husband back? Why not ask him in the car when Mike is dying to give him back?
Yeah.
To have that kind of an ability to give me a peace about something like that, but not over this Hobby Lobby, brown.
But like you said, it was for your grandkids. It was for your family. It's to help them mourn and grieve in yourself and to have that connection and that
So then
legacy.
You go to him and you say, as you're going too fast over the railroad tracks and you're caught up in the moment, you speak your mind to the Lord. And then I remember kind of feeling like, maybe I got a little out of line. But I still had that in my heart. But here's where the story gets amazing, because once again, my beliefs are that it is never about us. Never is it just about us. There's so many other things going on. So my husband has a friend named Rodney Wright, and he is a man that goes to our church, and I'm familiar, as in most of my relationships, with the children first. I'm closer to the children. My husband makes a connection with Rodney. I have asked God to be very careful about what I speak about Rodney's story, but I've also got permission from Rodney to speak. So through their ability to understand addiction, they bonded. My husband helped Rodney through some rough times, but the truth was my husband, he got the prize, because he needed that in his life. He needed to be able to make that step between drunk to was a drunk to I'm going to tell you about the grace of Jesus Christ because I didn't drink today, and to have somebody to help. So there were times when Michael's phone would ring and he'd step outside and it would be Rodney, and inside of me I would think, how amazing it is to be me and to know that when dude answers the phone and steps outside that it's of God.
Yeah.
So it was important. Our big God story is, 15 years old. There's not much really truthful growth in it except for the last 5 years. So when I think about those last 5 years and the changes, they're huge. So he's got this relationship with Rodney. They're buds. There is a replay that happens in your mind, I think, when you go through trauma of any kind. And I replay a lot the day that he died, the morning, sitting on my couch, Aubrey Brand's calling me, answering, and she's saying, "Are we still on for lunch?" And I said, "Oh, Mike's died," and hung up. These things. But then there's a lot of things that I don't remember. But Rodney coming through the door, clear as day. He just walked like a broken man through that door, right straight to me, scooped me up, hugged me. He's a big, tall guy, and sobbed. And I know this sounds really crazy, but it gave me such peace. It started almost this beginning of, okay, other people are going to get it. There's other people who know. So I have this connection with Rodney. So when Tuesdays come now, Tuesday afternoon, and still no Bible, and I get a little text with a photograph of a corner of the Bible, and the text is from Rodney, and it says, "Is this Mike's Bible?" I'm like, yeah. Well, over the next day or so, we put together the pieces that Rodney's got his Bible.
Wow.
He works for KDOT.
That's crazy.
So, and if he tells the story, he wasn't even supposed to be out that day where he was. And so he's picking up trash, and he starts to see, and once he gets the text from me acknowledging it, now it's on. Because it's not just a Bible laying there. It's trashed. It's all over, and it's at the ramp, there when you're coming into Gardner or exiting Gardner, where they're building the new car wash and everything. I mean, that's a pretty big field.
And so the Bible's not intact?
Oh, the Bible's trashed. It's all pages everywhere. I should have brought it.
Yes.
I don't know.
I should have reminded you. Why didn't we think of that?
Can you take a picture of it and
Yes.
text it to
Well,
us?
of what it is now. Yes, I can. So,
had it rained or anything? What was it? It was wintertime, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah, it was
wintertime.
snowy, right?
It was drizzly and snowy and that slushy stuff. That's what I'm saying. That when that darkness, when I was going over those railroad tracks, because it felt just like the day was built for that darkness, But little did I know that. So I don't care. I do care, but I sound like a crazy person when I tell most of my testimonies, because most of them really are just kind of testimonies. But for me, inside of me, there is no way that you cannot tell, you can't convince me that that's not Jesus Christ. That Jesus Christ is like, hey, oh, she's driving off. She's driving off. Oh, all right, now what are we going to do that she's dropped the Bible off the car? Oh, we're going to use Rodney, and we're going to put all these pieces together, and we're going to
I love it.
reconnect the bond between Rodney and I, which opened up dialogue for struggles that maybe he's still going through, struggles that I go through, that, just kind of reconnected us, but made him feel important, because in the man's pocket while he's picking up my husband's Bible are things that he should not have in his pocket and he's considering using.
Oh my God.
And had been building up to it, I think he said 10 or so days, and was going to make this break, right? This break from the peace.
I totally have goosebumps.
I know.
All over.
And so,
That's awesome.
he's not in a big hurry to get on KNBC TV and tell everybody that, but that's the truth. And his truth. And so it was like, oh, I hear you. And he sent his old buddy Mike Thompson to do it, and so I have goosebumps too. But I picked the Bible up, and Lifeway, when they were still here.
I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Did he find all of it?
Well, we don't know, but he found. So he found the covers, which were important because people had written in the covers. There were some pictures in there that were not recovered, but the truth is I don't really, like right now, this is probably the most time I've spent thinking about that, except for the fact that when I had it, Lifeway had offered, bring it to us, we're going to rebind it for you, we're going to do it all, and I wouldn't give it up. It's in 3 Ziploc bags, but they're more, protected than a regular Ziploc bag. In the drawer right next to my bed, I don't know if I'm just not willing to not know where it is again.
It's the beauty of the way it is.
Yeah,
I
know.
It even brought more testimony.
Yeah, and I have thought about, I would like to take maybe the different pieces of scripture or the page of someone who, and frame it maybe, I did that with Rodney. I found Rodney.
Any of the writings, they didn't bleed or?
No, I know, it's all very
crazy.
clear.
That's awesome.
And then somebody from Matt Fellner, who's a Christian himself, he contacted me and he said, I want to tell this story.
Now that's the news.
That's the news. And he came out and he was a Christian and he was just, goosebumps about the whole thing. And he met with Rodney. So they put together this little clip and that was great. And you could tell in my grief, it was just something else to help me feel like, see how great this story is. Look what you're doing, Thompson. I mean, you're still doing
it.
Yeah, and it was
God's
so
doing
great.
it. Yeah.
Yes, and for his story, his testimony,
right.
and then for Rodney to know what I knew and to be able to go through that. And then at the end of the year, they call us up and they're like, well, your story made best of 2017, so we're showing it again. Well, then you're in the grocery store or you're at the thrift store or whatever, and someone would say to me, are you the lady with the Bible? But I want to be clear about this. I'm just the dingbat who put the Bible on top of my car. There's nothing, look what Rhonda went through, and, she struggled through the loss. I'm the one that lost the Bible. The clarity for me was I spoke up. I got to a point in what felt like sacrifice. Oh, no, you can't have the Bible. And him saying, okay, now watch what I do with that Bible. And hearing him say to me through lots of things in life, I can't do it right now. I've got this going on. I can't give you the Bible back on Sunday morning when you're looking for it, prima donna, because I'm getting ready to work with Rodney on it on Monday afternoon. So you're going to have to wait. Is that what's always going on all the time when things hurt? It's because something else is being taken care of? I don't know, because I'm not God.
He's working in the details
Yeah.
of everything, and we don't even know
We
half
don't.
of it. That's what's so freaking cool.
What seems silly that comes out to me is that prayer, the fact that it's still there in that drawer waiting. But when I go back to when I purchased the Bibles, I remember feeling a little awkward. We're going to go to Texas Roadhouse. The family's going to be there. And there's Rhonda giving Bibles out for Christmas or birthdays again. You know, that's where I was in my life at that time. And that it took courage. That was the same year that I gave a Bad Girls of the Bible book study as a white elephant gift. You know, I was that person, right? She's choking all the fun out of our gifts. And putting the letters on. And then watching that man carry that Bible, and then all the way to Rodney. So, yeah, I don't ever think we're done until we're done. I think that I have learned that sometimes when you're speaking out and you're saying, oh, no, that I feel that it's the Holy Spirit on my back. I feel that that's kind of really where he comes into play more, where it's just that I'm done thinking it through. I'm done trying to figure out the right words. I'm just going to say it. And that's what I love most about that Bible story, is Rodney.
Oh, wow. I love it. That's powerful. And it's going to go out to more, even still, so that the story is not done. It's continually going on. But
so, Rhonda, would you say that... Did it click with you when you prayed that? I mean, you said that it was kind of like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But, like, do you think it stepped up your prayer life? Do you think that it changed your prayer life? Do you think it made you recognize praying with authority in certain ways or anything like that? Or maybe later on?
No, I think that in the beginning, because it was and still is kind of part of who I am, I'm still not willing to believe that I can just have this completely open and honest relationship with Jesus. Or, you know, I still have a little bit of that, but it did bring me closer to. You spoke it, and then you felt bad about it, but the truth was, like I had just said, he wasn't even. It's not even like he shut me down. It was just, wait a second, I've got something else to do. I do think of that, and I do speak out more. I believe that was more of I was just desperate. I was, there's a clear, as I'm looking now and I'm coming out of this to a degree, a clear darkness that did not attach itself to me with the loss of my husband until the other losses became apparent. Because Michael didn't just die and then we all stayed having Sunday brunch. You know, my family has, our nation has, where things did not go as...
But the story's not over.
Right. That's my point, is that it's not over. But so I went into this darkness, not even realizing it was darkness, just kind of thinking, well, this is what it's going to be. And yet, he brings this Bible story up in such a way that when I say, there you go, Michael, not to be confused with there you go, God. Everything is there you go, God. But where I am in my life is still in a state of desperation to make sure that these two people, me and Michael Thompson, our ridiculous lives that we lived, the time that was wasted, the pain that was caused, but that at some point people like Mike Cordray, Kelly's husband, who's known my husband since he was a child, could say, well, that's not how it ended, right? So to me, it is a valuable story. To me, the story of the Bible, the story of our love, the story of our ability to come back together later in life and say, let's do something else and all of the things he did for us in the manner that he did the Bible. The losing the Bible is a drag. She lost her Bible. Somebody would have went up and bought me one. I promise you. There's enough love going around. But it wasn't about that. And I'll say it again. I am just the goofball who lost it. I have nothing except that I cried out to him. I knew when the women were quietly praying that I find the Bible, that I was like, oh no, this is bigger than that. But once he brought Rodney into it, there was no doubt. And I said it on the interview. It looks like, sounds like, tastes like Jesus Christ to me. You can't make this stuff up. You can't science it up that, well, her Bible fell off at a trajectory of whatever, and that's where it landed, and dude just happened to find it. No.
Sounds like a good word for this whole story is restoration.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Restoration.
Yep.
That is the word. I heard that this morning.
I know. Well, that's your word.
And I was thinking, what was that about? No, mine's reconciliation.
Oh, reconciliation. But yes.
But restoration
yes.
is a good one, too, and with the Bible, because the truth is do you girls think it's not restored? Because I haven't put it back all the way together it was supposed to be? Or is it perfectly restored the way that it is?
Yes.
Right? And how things look. It's real popular now. Everybody's doing the take something and distress it and make it something else or whatever. And look at the beauty of it all. Well,
that Bible, that the way it is, God restored that back to you, but that represents Jesus in every single way. That's why I think it would be great just to leave it as it is. Yeah. But I mean, Well, thank you for your story.
Yes,
do we have anything else that we want to add? This is
we
great.
We can talk all day, but
I know. And I think what I'm going to do, we are doing this on video as well, is I'm going to find the news story and attach it. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. That would be cool.
So we have it on the podcast, but you guys will be able to view this on video as well.
Are you putting it on YouTube?
I'll YouTube it and then I'll share it to our Facebook, but I think I can connect it with a podcast too.
Yeah,
so I think I can get it in all three places.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I'll send you a picture, or you.
Yeah, and send it to Miss, or you can send it to me and I'll send it to her.
Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much. This
was
such a huge blessing today. Thank you. All right.